Great. Last Thursday, the impressions that we had after the game are pretty much spot on. I thought there were some bright moments. I thought the second quarter in particular, I think all three phases played superior together, and we did some really good things. I thought defensively we tackled better, still giving up a few too many big plays. Offensively, struggled running the football. I thought we threw the football and protected fairly well. I thought Matt McDonald played well, along with Darren Anders on the other side of the football. And but the comment that I made at the end of the game, I thought was the best in regards to. I think we crammed for a test. We did not have a good practice on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we tried to make up for it Thursday, Friday. And I thought our walkthroughs and everything were superior on Saturday. And it was able to give us a chance to play competitive, but not well enough to win, obviously. This week, we've got our hands full. We've got a super talented South Alabama team coming in here. I think defensively, they create problems with their athleticisms. They've got guys that can cover. They got guys that can rush the passer. I think the linebackers are good blitzers. Offensively, the quarterback, I think, is a very good player. They've got a first-round draft pick wide receiver, in my opinion, and I think the back does a good job. So I think schematically, it's going to be challenging on both sides. Today at practice, I thought our guys had the right intent, and I thought we finally came out and practiced like a Tuesday practice on a Monday. But I think we need to continue to have a great week and give ourselves a chance to win on Saturday through great preparation and great effort. But today was better, which was a positive.
Coach, talk about the play of your secondary. Seemed like Tennessee tried to beat you up top a few times and didn't necessarily have a lot of success. Your secondary was an area where you brought in a couple of transfers in particular. How did you feel the secondary played?
Better, and we'll continue to play better. We think through a little bit of help next year, we think that our defensive line and our back end could be a strong suit for us. We just need to continue to work and get better, but I thought they played much better. We didn't have as many explosion plays in the pass game. I thought the one explosion play they had at the very end of the game, I thought it was holding on the right tackle, but I thought for the most part they played really well.
Coach, what about your stable of running backs? You said we would see them all. We did.
Mm-hmm.
Did anything stick out to you of any of their performances?
Well, they really didn't have a chance in regards to, we tried to come out and run the football, and it was apparent that they were just overpowering us. So we turned this thing into the run and shoot. We threw it as many times as we possibly could. We thought it was the best way to give ourselves a chance. Matt's an older guy that can handle that. Do we want to play football like that? No, we want to run the ball. I think this week you'll see what those backs can truly do. But they didn't have a chance in terms of, they didn't. There was guys in the backfield before we could blink. There was one time that we blocked the pin pull scheme correctly, which would have been a big gain for the back, but Matt pulled it and hit an RPO for a big play. But the guy in the pass game that did a great job was Jamal Johnson. He's going to be different. He's going to be a really good football player. And he caught that rail, and he did some things in that game that you had no clue that he was a freshman out there whatsoever. The game wasn't bigger than him. He looked like he belonged on that field out there, which was really cool. So there was a lot of bright spots. We got to continue, though, to find ways to run this football with this young offensive line. You can't make a living throwing the ball every single time, especially when we hit the month of November, and it does get kind of windy here in Bowling Green. So we got to find a way to run the ball.
Jordan, you got a question?
Yeah, Scott, could you touch on Levi Gazaric? I thought he had some really nice moments the other night. How has he been able to kind of elevate his game a little bit?
Yeah, Levi's a competitive guy. He's done a great job. We were worried about being so young, playing baseball and missing, some of the spring practice, but he was able to overcome that. He had a great summer, And we're going to continue with that plan. We're going to let him play baseball, and he's just got to do a really good job in the summertime to make up for missing some time in spring ball. But he did a great job with that. I thought his summer was excellent. He'll only get better with time. The older he gets, the more mature he gets, the stronger he gets. He's going to be a good football player for Bowling Green. He's everything that we asked for.
And then one of the other local guys, Jaden Mckinsey, I mean, his story is so unbelievable. What was that like for you to see him get the scholarship, like you guys gave him the scholarship, and then to get in his first collegiate game, make a catch in an SEC stadium, all those things, you kind of just encapsulate what his story is like.
Jaden and I go back way farther than just Bowling Green. Whenever I went over to evaluate the quarterback that went to Cincinnati, and he was a freshman at the time, and I remember writing in my notebook that this guy's got a chance to be a really good football player. And then I think I had one more year at Boston College, and I remember coming back, and I remember going, what happened to Jaden? He just disappeared off the map, and I had no clue about his story, about having cancer. And I went into the school, I believe it was last year, and he didn't have a scholarship opportunity, and we're close with Larry, obviously, over there at St. John's. And I didn't forget what he looked like when he was a freshman, and we asked him to walk on with the intent of giving him a scholarship, and that scholarship came open early, and he deserved it. And it was nice to finally see us catch a slant and advance it. We haven't done that in 2 years here. And, believe it or not, that's a positive. We have not caught a slant and advanced a slant here in 2 years. And he looked very similar to the young Jamal Johnson. He looked like he belonged. And he'll only get better with time. He's got to get stronger. He needs to gain some more knowledge. But his best football is down the road for him, for sure.
Good.
One follow-up, Coach, what about the seeming connection between Matt and Austin Osborne? Obviously, they were high school teammates.
Yeah.
It seemed like they must have picked up where they left off, but they had a connection.
Austin Osborne, before I get into their connection and all, he's been an immediate impact player, just not for his ability, but for that wide receiver room in general. He knows how to do it. He walked in here, he learned the offense in 2 months. He's a guy, this offense is, it takes a little time to pick up, and he picked it up immediately. The urgency that he has in that receiver room, that leadership quality, he's made Tyrone Broden much better. He made that whole room better. And him having, obviously ability, but having those leadership qualities is going to make that wide receiver room even better. And think about it, you have him for 3 years. Got it this year and 2 more, which is great. And at the end of the day, Matt and him, there's trust there, there's belief. And, he said whenever we were recruiting him that he would come in and he's going to do exactly what I just described. He's going to make plays, but he's going to be even a better guy in the room. And he's really made Broden better, in my opinion. Having Broden and Sims back this week is going to open up a lot of opportunities to throw the football. So as you can see, a couple of years ago, we couldn't talk about guys that can potentially make plays. Now we're starting to move into, hey, we got a chance. We just got to shore up this offensive line, get these young backs the football, find a way to run the ball. And I think with if we can keep Matt upright, I think this offense slowly but surely is going to develop into a pretty good system.
What do you see in South Alabama? I know they have a seasoned quarterback that's kind of been around the block. What challenges do they bring?
They can run the ball. The quarterback's a seasoned guy, and they got a guy that, just like I said, he's playing on Sundays, and it wouldn't be shocking if he is a day one. Well, he's a day one guy. It just matters when. I think he's a first-round guy, no later than a second round, but he's different. We got to find a way to not let him beat us. And obviously there's other football players on their team that are talented and are really good players, but that dude is different. He's a really good player. He belongs in that league that we just played, to be quite honest with you.
Any more questions? Any more questions on the Zoom call? Are you good, Jordan?
Scott, I had one more. Do you have an update on Sam Neteroff?
Yeah, we're going to find out a lot about Sam today. And we've been waiting on multiple doctors that are evaluating him to see if that he can help us in some way. So we'll find out here, hopefully this afternoon, what his status is. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.
We'll have the